All right. Well, welcome, main fiddle campers, back to the main tent and or live streaming as well. Um, and things seem to be going pretty well. But there's a lot of technical aspects to all of this, and we've had the most unbelievably talented musicians who are also fabulous technicians that have been helping to make all of this possible. One of the main guys here that's actually sort of monitoring and directing this live stream and Zoom is Neil Pearlman. And so I'm going to ask Neil to give us a little update on all of the technical aspects of Virtual Main Fiddle Camp and how things are going. So let us know, Neil. Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Doug. I have a message from the web team. We did have, as you may have noticed, a bit of a website crash right at the beginning when everyone jumped on the website. But we've resolved that for the time being. If that happens again, you should have a new email with the up-to-date links for all the workshops there as a backup. So you can just use those links to get into your Zoom account if the website goes down for some reason. But assuming it doesn't, all the links are still on the website. The website's been updated now with all of the specialty workshop links as well. So if you go to the website, it looks a little different. You're looking for your Nest link, and it's just specialty workshops. Just scroll down the page. The Nest links are still down there at the bottom. And it sounds like it was a great morning, and we're looking forward to continuing that great energy all day. Back to you, Doug.
Great, great, Neil. Thanks for the update. Yes, the two workshops seem to go pretty well this morning, from all reports that I've had, and I imagine some of them, just like at Main Fiddle Camp, the instructors forget about time and they might be running over a little bit. So we're not going to start. We're going to wait till we get a few more participants. We're getting a lot more now. That's great. The main tent is filling up, and the excitement is building about the special secret surprise guests. So I can hardly wait. I'm very excited about it. But whoa, Doug, I gotta take a deep breath and just relax a little bit, and not get too excited, and talk about the rest of the day coming up, because after we get a little concert from the special secret surprise guests momentarily, we'll be off to the next workshop, the final workshop for today in your main nests. But then there's going to be some specialty workshops, and you want to be keeping track of the specialty workshops because there are some fabulous musicians that have, at the last minute, offered up their services to be part of Virtual Main Fiddle Camp and offer up a specialty workshop. You know, the specialty workshop part of Main Fiddle Camp is one of my most favorite traditions because it really gives a chance for all the campers to run workshops and for the staff to come up with different new musical ideas to present to people. And so it ends up being a very creative part of Main Fiddle Camp that isn't just all regulated and pre-planned. It's very spontaneous. So people sign up at the last minute on clipboards, and then we announce those specialty workshops, and then we also post them on chalkboards in front of the dining hall. So hopefully we're going to have do that at the end of this as well. Review the specialty workshops being offered. Perhaps Neil, you could help out with that, and that'll be great. So and then this evening we're going to have some more jam session after the specialty workshops, and a barn dance. A barn dance that's kind of designed too to sort of real basic stuff so that you can, as musicians, can teach people how to dance to the music that you want to play. So we'll have a little bit of a barn dance, but then we're going to have the variety show, which is all pre-recorded, and we're really looking forward to that. I haven't even seen that myself, so I'm going to be very excitedly looking at the variety show hosted by Main Fiddle Camp icons Owen Marshall and Glenn Loper. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then afterwards, we're all going to come back to the main tent here, and we'll have a little summation of the day, and maybe a lullaby or two to send you off to good night's sleep, just like we do at Maine Fiddle Camp. And I'll ring the curfew bell once again. And so that's what's coming up. But I'm going to check on the the participants are getting way up there now. Oh, the excitement is building. I think that it might be time to maybe bring out the special secret surprise guests and talk with them a little bit while people are still arriving, and because I think it's an amazing story, and I think that this special secret surprise guests for this Maine Fiddle Camp may be the most appropriate guests that we've ever had, because they have been running a music camp for many years, just many more years than Maine Fiddle Camp has been running. And so we've got camp directors as well as fabulous musicians. So maybe you might be getting the idea, some of you, of who I'm talking about. So I think it's time, Neil, to bring them in. We're going to bring in our special secret surprise guest for Maine Fiddle Camp, virtual Maine Fiddle Camp 2020. Jay and Molly, would you please appear magically? Hopefully. Jay and Molly, Jay Hunger, Molly Mason, will you appear? Hey, there's Molly. Oh, turn on your audio. We still can't hear you. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi.
All right. Okay. Welcome to virtual Maine Fiddle Camp. This is a real treat. I was just telling everybody how you're the most appropriate special secret surprise guest ever, because you are very dedicated to having music camps and teaching, and that's just exactly what Maine Fiddle Camp is all about. And you're also wonderfully inspiring musicians. And so thank you so much for being part of virtual Maine Fiddle Camp.
It's great to be
We're
here.
psyched. This is so fun.
Oh, good. Now, people are still arriving, so we don't want to rush into your concert right away.
Sure.
And so I've always wondered myself about your careers and how you got the camp started, but even more importantly, I'm always wondering how your life changed when that Ashokan Farewell became this iconic song through the Ken Burns Civil War documentary. And that must have been like a real change in your life to have that kind of exposure and sort of fame, or maybe not. I don't know. But please just tell us a little bit about when and how you first started doing this kind of camp-like education with traditional music.
Well, camp started in 1980, but I wanted to say that the Civil War series, 1990, was such a big deal that when we think back on our lives, we refer to it as pre-Civil War and post-Civil War. Because there was a big change there. But Jay will tell you how the camp got started in 1980.
Well, it started as a weekend, and I'd been inspired by being on staff at other camps. Country Dance and Song Society is one of them. And it grew. This is our 40th anniversary. Funny way to spend your 40th anniversary to suddenly be virtual instead of terrestrial.
Right.
The tune, I wrote the tune in 82 at the end of the camp. I mean, I was already home. And it was really inspired by the place, the Ashokan property, the people, the experiences, and the longing of wanting to be back there. And at that point, there was no dream that we'd be doing it for decades. So each year was, should we do this again next year? Kind of thing. And I didn't know whether I'd see it again. But then in 83 and every year after, we started playing that tune at the end of each camp. And in 1990, when it was heard as the theme of the Civil War series, my phone started ringing. People, calling and saying, they're using our tune. It was an alien experience for people who felt it was part of the camp and
Oh,
had nothing to do with the Civil War.
it didn't. That's true. It really didn't have relevance, but it became such an important part of the musical theme. It became the heart and soul of that whole series, the way Ken Burns envisioned it.
Yeah, and that I was saying earlier that that series, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, and Riverdance were all around that same time, and I feel like it opened up people's ears who would never always shunned or didn't give themselves permission to like traditional music. Now it was okay, even cool,
Or had never heard it, maybe.
and maybe never heard it.
Yeah.
Well, I I feel the same way that once things get mainstreamed, it really changes people's consciousness. I can remember nobody knew anything about ragtime until it was put into the movie The Sting.
Right.
And inappropriately too, because Sting was set in the 30s, and the ragtime Scott Joplin music they played was back in the 1880s and 90s. So they even had it all wrong that way. But all of a sudden, ragtime music became in everybody's consciousness, and people were learning ragtime music, all
Yeah.
because of that media
Well,
exposure.
and then in terms of changing our lives, well, it certainly did. Suddenly we had an audience
And gigs.
and gigs,
Oh yeah. But
and then a series of experiences that have not stopped, that are connected with Ashokan Farewell, opening doors, bringing us into situations invariably positive, but sometimes kind of strange. We've been invited to perform at the White House twice because of Ashokan Farewell, and that we've been traveling in the middle of nowhere with our instruments and take our instruments out and are sitting playing tunes like in an airport waiting for the next flight. Somebody might come by and ask if we know Ashokan Farewell.
And he gets to say, "Know it, I wrote it."
and they don't believe you then.
I have had a person or two almost faint at that moment. It's weird.
I bet. Yes. No. Well, is it so? There was a certain fame that went along with that exposure for you guys.
Yeah, when it became a soundtrack album and it was, there was a record company behind it, they hired a publicist, and without much warning, I started getting interviewed by every major newspaper, like the L.A. Times, the New York Times, the Philadelphia Inquirer, and etc. And then stories about this tune, because it was the only tune that wasn't from the period, and it had the feel that it was from the period. So that was the crux of the news story. And then the other part of the story was person after person were Ashokan Farewell composer deniers. They said, no, he couldn't have possibly written it. It's really this old Scottish tune. Or really about this battle and whatever, I mean, really, there were people who wrote to me and told me I
But
didn't write it.
the best story was the guy who said, "Of course he did not write it because I found it on a player piano roll." You know what a player piano roll is?
Sure. Yeah, I do. I don't know if half our audience does.
He did find it on a player piano roll because Jay said yes and licensed it to a current company that actually makes player piano rolls. So this was about 1993, I think.
Literally, the old paper rolls. That's what they
Yeah.
actually produced back then. Because I know they have electronic player pianos now, but that
Yeah.
one was. So your Ashoka Farewell actually got made into a old time player piano song.
Yeah.
Wow, what extensive fame for that tune.
One of my favorite things is occasionally, not so much in the last few years, but we used to get invited to, and one time we just were driving home from a gig in Vermont, and we drove past an encampment, a Civil War reenactor encampment You know, those happen all over the place.
Absolutely.
And so we pulled over and we walked in with instruments, and Ashokan Farewell gets played so much at
Oh, yeah.
at those Civil War reenactments, which are so picky about the socks you wear, and
Yeah.
you can't have a watch because they didn't have those watches then, and you know they're pretty picky about their history, but they do play Ashokan Farewell.
Isn't that something? You've actually penetrated back into the history itself? Because I
Yeah.
know what you mean. I've played for those encampments. They want every stitch, every piece of clothing, every boot to be as authentic as possible, and the
Yes,
music. But isn't that's kind of that's a great story. You
that's a
probably have 100 stories about Ashokan Farewell like that.
It was,
yeah. We should probably stop.
Yeah,
it
well,
was
I'm enjoying it tremendously. I think our audience is as well. But I know they also want to hear some fabulous music too. So
Okay.
I think it's time to let you just take it away now, and we'll sit back and enjoy your music. So thanks again for
Thank you. This
being
is
here, and we look forward to your specialty workshops later on as well.
great.
We do too.
We'll talk about that later. Then.
Yeah.
Left my home in the mountains, fiddling around this town. Yeah, I'm just a traveling fiddler, not traveling too much right now. Fiddle till the sun goes down. Plant my corn in the summertime, pick it when the weather is hot. The corn grew thin and the house caved in. Fiddling's all I got. I'm just fiddling, fiddling, fiddling. I'm just fiddling around this town. I'm just fiddling, 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 fiddling around this town. Take me back to the mountain where the wind blows wild and free. Take me back, shack out back, pretty gal. I'll pick up a favorite fiddle, rosin up a favorite bow, sing this thing, finger in the string, fiddling's all I know. I'm just fiddling, 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 I'm just fiddling around this town. I'm just fiddling, 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 fiddling around this town. Just fiddling, fiddling, fiddling. I'm just fiddling around this town. I'm just fiddling, 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 fiddling around this town. Even
Classic.
was. That's amazing.
That is nice.
So that was Dinah is the first tune with some original lyrics, Leather Breeches, and June Apple. I imagine there are some folks in their backyard or in a virtual backyard right about now. Tell you about a picking party down on the lower 40, back to Grandma's place. She invited friends and neighbors from 100 miles around. I wish you could have seen her face. Oh, when the folks started showing up with mandolins and picnic lunches, have a big old time, picking tunes that could tug your heartstrings, singing songs that could make you cry. It was a rough cut rhapsody, full of homemade harmony. There was music that could set you free. It was a backyard symphony. Fiddles, a pack of guitars, and Molly played the old string bass. There was old songs, new songs, happy songs, true songs, kids running every place. Then it got kinda mellow. Mama played her cello, Dad was on the edge of tears. She played an old country waltz, and I saw folks dancing close, had held each other that way for years. It was a rough cut rhapsody. Learn the chorus. Full of homemade harmony.
Music that could set you.
Music that could set you free. It was a backyard symphony. Play the fiddle, I dance quite a little. Now I play the radio. I'm getting older, I'm ailing, my body is failing, my eyes and ears starting to go. Oh, but regardless of age, there are things that don't change. If I live to be 110, the memories deep in my heart, and any time that I want, I close my eyes and be there again. There was a rough cut rhapsody,
Full of homemade.
full of homemade harmony.
Music.
There was music that could set you free. It was a backyard symphony. One more time. It was a rough cut rhapsody, full of homemade harmony. There was music that could set you free. It was a backyard symphony. By now you know it meant a lot to me. Our little backyard symphony. All right.
Hey.
Some folks were singing.
I hope so. I think I heard them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There was somebody playing bones along with you too.
Oh,
Awesome.
Cool. I love it.
Awesome.
I love it.
So I bet somebody knows where some of these folks who are listening are from, and I bet it's all over the place. Are there any extremely interesting places people are listening from?
We
do we
might
know?
find out.
Virgin Islands.
Well, Cape Cod, Grand Rapids, Texas, Atlanta, Brooklyn.
Iowa, New Mexico. Oh, awesome.
Oh, Canada, Alabama, Minnesota,
Fast, yeah.
Canada,
Asheville.
BC.
Alexandria,
Yeah. Cape
Tel
Cod.
Aviv,
Oh man, they're all over. California, Vermont,
Vermont, Vermont.
Berkeley.
Asheville.
South
Oh,
Pole.
okay.
So let's see. We're going to do a little more music. I saw somebody request a
Thank
Shokin
you.
Farewell. I'll mention that our plan is to play it during the Maestro Bistro later.
Oh.
And so, but right
Which
now,
But we might run into copyright issues.
We're trying to work those out, so we can't play it until later because
Yeah.
we're still straightening that out.
well, I saw another waltz requested, Oop-Pick Waltz. We are going to play a couple of waltzes in this set. This one that coming up right now is Midnight on the Water, which comes from the great Texas fiddler Benny Thomason. And Molly toured with him as a bass player way back when she was a West Coast person.
And really young, I have to say.
You were, I guess you were. And we'll go from there into Bonaparte's Retreat, a medley we love to do. In this tuning, by the way, D, A, D, and a low, low D at the bottom.
So you do tune that thing.
Oh, that is fun.
What was
So
the
that
fun ride? That
Bonaparte's Retreat, you can find that and a lot of other music that was recorded by the WPA and other funding, during the stimulus period during the Great Depression. It's all at the Library of Congress. Great sources of original American music. So we're going to try an original tune of ours. It's called The Lover's Waltz. Molly's moving over to the piano. You see the sign back here, the quiet room. Every Wednesday we do a little concert from this space at 8 p.m. So if you want to come back and join us, we'll be here on Wednesday at 8 p.m.
That's a Facebook thing, and you can find it at the
Facebook
Jay Unger and
Live.
Molly Mason Facebook page. Should be easy to find, or fairly so. The Quiet Room, 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
I saw somebody from Luxembourg check in there. That
Wow.
was cool.
I have to wait for this to come on. There we go.
The Lover's Waltz, this one we wrote together many years ago.
Waltz. It's so popular. I hear that played everywhere.
Ah, that's nice to hear. Well, we're going to close with a couple of contra dance tunes. We live in the Eastern Catskills. And by the way, it's amazing to be part of Maine Fiddle Camp from home. Wow. So we're in the Eastern Catskills.
Excited.
I always like to mention before we play these tunes that we're north of the Borscht Belt and south of the Irish Catskills. So this is the Celto-Klezmer region. And these are Celto-Klezmer tunes written at home, but for contra dancing. And we want to invite you all to visit our music and dance camps, which will be starting up next week. We have 6 camps this summer.
Woo!
And this is great to be invited to this wonderful, decades-old institution. And we've never been before. But if you're interested in checking out our camps, ashokan.org, and you'll find them. So here are a couple of original tunes that a few other people still play out there.
Okay.
Oh, fantastic!
So that was Vladimir's Steamboat and the Wizard's Walk.
Yes. Oh, I've never heard the Wizard's Walk played like that before.
Thank you. What a pleasure to be
You ought
here.
to, you ought to know the best version, that's for sure.
So
And
we'll-
that story of the synthesis going on with the cultures there.
Yes, a synthesis.
Definitely, definitely.
It's all about the food and the water,
Maybe a little bit about the wine. Maybe.
the wine. I'll mention we're going to teach the Lover's Waltz in our workshop later today.
Good point.
And Molly's going to teach guitar on that.
I will be doing guitar on that one.
And then you come together at the end or something? Is that
We'll
the
bring
idea?
everybody together at the end. Yep. Everybody being me and Jay. um,
Well, the
but
two workshops will be together, sort of, right?
that's
Yeah, we're working that out, the technology. It'll help.
Yes, right. But that's kind of a different format that hasn't been run yet, so that's great. So that'll get reinforced as we're going to be announcing all the specialty workshops momentarily. So thank you, Jay and Molly. That was a fantastic concert. Once
That was
again, the best ever secret special surprise guest at Maine Fiddle Camp. So,
all right.
geez.
We loved it. We loved it. We loved it. So glad we were able to do it. This is totally fun.
We're sticking around all day now.
Yep.
We'll see a
Great.
lot of good stuff.
Thank you
All right.
so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks
So
for-
now it's time to move on with a little bit of public service announcements. So I'm going to switch you over, or he's going to switch himself over to tell you what's going on. One of our fabulous behind-the-scenes tech people that this could never be happening without, and there's an amazing team of them. So take it away, Neil Perlman.
Hey everybody. I'm wearing a couple of hats at this camp, as you may know. So you've been seeing me in the sort of running these Zoom calls and live streams hat, but I'm going to put on my Maestro Bistro hat now and tell you that tonight we have a great edition of the Maestro Bistro. That'll be starting at 6 p.m. and it's going to have Eric McDonald, Lissa Schneckenberger, Corey DeMario, T. Akadi. We're going to have a special guest from the Maine Fiddle Camp kitchen, Janan Alexandra, to talk about making yogurt and making granola, and just what it's like to be in the Maine Fiddle Camp kitchen. And we're also going to have a extra special cameo from Jay and Molly coming back for a couple more tunes. So you should definitely check it out. That is not going to be live on a Zoom call. That you should watch on our YouTube channel. It will be going on live, but it will be just through the YouTube channel or the Facebook. So head over to one of those to watch that and stick around for the barn dance after. And then you can come back here to sing songs in the campfire to this Zoom call after that. Now I'm going to switch hats again, back to my tech role, and give you a quick PSA. Apparently some people have wanted to switch workshops in the middle and thought they wanted to try a different class, and they thought they needed to re-register. Just so you know, you don't have to sign up again for camp to switch workshops. Just go back to the nests link and click a different nest and click in. Once you're registered once, you're fine. So just you can switch workshops if you feel like you need to or you want to. That's not a problem. And I'm going to head it back to Doug now to bring on our last announcement.
Yes, and of course, right after this, we're going to be streaming out the pre-recorded camper concert. So you don't want to miss that. That'll be fun. And I hope everybody's enjoying their lunch and relaxing around and just taking it a little easy before your next series of workshops. And enjoy the camper concert coming right up, hosted by Owen Marshall. So that ought to be a lot of fun. And so I'm going to now Neil will shift it over to Glenn and Bethany, who's going to run down the specialty workshops for us today. Are you there, Bethany? There she is. Bethany, welcome. Another hardworking virtual Maine Fiddle Camp staff person making it all happen behind the scenes, and some on the screen as well. So take it away, Bethany.
Yeah, so after your next workshop, starting at 3:30, there's going to be a couple hour blocks of specialty workshops, so kind of unrelated to what's been going on in your nest so far. And the extra fun thing about this, we've reached out to the staff to offer other things, but we've also reached out to all the Fiddle Camp staff, whoever was on board, to be at actual camp this summer. So there's a lot of special guests kind of zooming in just for this for an hour or two. So check out the offerings. You don't have to remember anything I'm about to say. It's all on the website. Everyone's kind of submitted a nice paragraph summary of their workshop. So if you want any more info than what I'm about to read, just head back to the Fiddle Camp website. It's all there. In the 3:30 block today, we have a great fiddle player from Boston who's never been to Fiddle Camp. He was going to be a special surprise guest this summer. He's going to come do an intro to gypsy jazz. That's Jason Anick. That's primarily fiddle workshop, any level. He's going to start off by just kind of talking about the style and playing a little bit, and then actually teach a tune. Lissa Schneckenberger is going to be doing a New England jam. So all instruments kind of geared towards an intermediate advanced level. Jeremiah McLean is going to do a workshop he's calling You Must Control Your Bellows. So any instrument with bellows, piano, accordion, button accordion, concertina. Eric McDonald, who's been doing the DADGAD class this weekend, will be doing a class geared towards singing, backing up your own singing. He's a guitar player, but the workshop is not specific to guitar. Any instrument you want to back yourself up on. Molly and Ellen Goller are going to be building, you probably remember from past years, they build these little luminary boats. So out of twigs and leaves and twine and then a candle. And this weekend is the summer solstice, and they release it into that river that runs through camp. So they're going to be building the boats and then invite you to release it somewhere tonight and share videos and photos of that. Nancy 3 Hoffman will be doing a klezmer workshop, intro to klezmer. I imagine she's playing accordion, but it's open to anyone who wants to learn that style. Kenny Raskin with beginning ukulele. He's been doing that already today, but if you've been in another nest and want to check out the ukulele, now is your chance. Geared towards the beginner player. John Pranio, a workshop called Let's Talk About Rhythm. That's a fiddle workshop. He's been a puffin this weekend, so he's been doing harmonica. But this is going to be his fiddle hour. He's going to take simple tunes you probably already know, and it's going to be a bow-focused workshop to get some kind of dance rhythm in your playing. Bennett Konechny will be leading a workshop on work songs. It's always a favorite. Helen Newell with Teen Tones, and she's going to be joined by Adams Kornblum and Nolan Rogers.
Teen Tones. Tell them what Teen Tones is.
They're geared towards teens. I don't think they're going to be carting anybody at the door. They're going to come up with a snazzy arrangement of some snazzy tunes and create a virtual ensemble performance. So actually, everyone's little Zoom cubes, put it seamlessly together, and then have a complete product by the end of this weekend, at least.
Wow.
So all of those happen in the 3:30 to 4:30 hour. Then 4:45 to 5:45, a whole nother offering, including Jay and Molly's class. They will meet together and kind of demo the Lover's Waltz, and then break into melody workshop, chord workshop, work it out, and come back together at the end to play it. Ellen Goller will be doing a fiddle skills workshop. This is going to be kind of a master class style format. So if you're up for it, actually spotlighting or highlighting each individual player, kind of looking at what you're doing and what might be improved upon. Dan Fayella, who's not been here yet this weekend, will be doing a guitar workshop. He's probably going to be in DADGAD. It's not DADGAD specific. He calls it incorporating chords into your flat picking. So kind of breaking beyond the single melody line and getting some harmony notes in there. Ben Foss, this is always one of my favorite workshops. Stringed instruments repair and setup Q&A. He's a great instrument builder, instrument repair guy. It's a lot of useful information for you. It says stringed instruments. I think it might actually be fretted instruments, banjos, mandolins, guitars. Stephen Weiss will be doing a harmonica workshop that he's calling Even Fiddles Get the Blues, and he'll work through a blues number. And to be in the workshop, he's going to be tuned in C. So if you have a C harmonica, that'll get you there. Carter Logan has been doing bluegrass banjo this weekend, but he's going to do a dobro workshop for the hour. Kind of demoing some bluegrass, but then also figuring out how you might play your average fiddle tune on the dobro. Steve Muse, also a recurring favorite workshop, tunesmithing. He gets everyone together and talks about how he might write a tune, and actually by the end of the workshop, you have written. And you can compare these all to a book that will someday be for sale at funnel all the proceeds to the Maine Fiddle Camp Scholarship Fund. Elizabeth Anderson, who is typically one of our youth counselors and lifeguards, will be zooming in to do playing easy Scottish waltzes, which sounds like a great way to kind of wind down your day of classes. And then Mia Bertelli will be leading a discussion. I should probably just read what she actually wrote for this workshop. Art and music is a powerful tool for celebration, expression, connection, understanding, attention, and growth. Please join me for an open discussion about how music fits into this moment and how we approach all of our choices thoughtfully. We will not press you to have any answers, only many questions. So go into that with an open mind, be nice. And then there are a couple pre-recorded workshops that will go live on YouTube at 3:30 for staff members that wanted to contribute but can't actually be here. There's one for Liz Fayella about session playing and etiquette, one from Gordon Peary about contradance piano backup, and another beginning ukulele video from Ando Anderson. Yeah, but head over to the main Fiddle Camp website for more on all that. And if you need a recap on the times, that's all there.
Oh, wow. Great job, Bethany. Love it. Wow. This is so much like regular main Fiddle Camp with just unbelievable specialty workshop lineups for people. So that's part of twice the program that we love to offer. So looks like a great lineup. And we've got the camper concert coming right up at 1 o'clock. So that'll be live stream. So that'll be coming right up. There's a nice screen of it right there. So so I guess we'll just sign off right now, give you some time to get ready for the camper concert coming up and their next workshops coming up. And we'll see you at the Maestro Bistro coming up at 6 o'clock. So have fun, everybody.